Okay, good afternoon everyone. This is our first time, but I always see you online. So first, before we start our lesson, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dani. My name is Dani.
Nggak video ya?
Yeah, I record this.
Nggak di video?
Yeah, I record this. You can see in this camera.
Ah,
I'll record you now. I'm recording now. So I'm using a active presenter so I can record both of us and also this PowerPoint. So this is my second time teaching in Butte. At the first time I taught students at the fourth grade, and it's quite challenging for me because the material actually is complicated. Even I have studied this before, but it sounds difficult for me too. So I have to learn before I teach you. My name is Dani Puswitasari, and right now I'm a student in Applied Foreign Languages in Taiwan Kejutaswe, and this is my second year students. I'm a master student. I'm from Seoul. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm from Seoul. How about you? Can you introduce yourself?
my my name is Tri. I was born in Amuntai, Kalsel, Kalimantan Selatan.
Oh wow, it's cool.
Yes, and I am in Taiwan. Work in Tanshui.
Wow, that's far.
Yes.
I'm sorry. How about you?
My name is Yusnita.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Palembang and I work in Navy, Taipei Navy.
Oh, it's quite far from here.
Yeah.
So today, first I want to make a little bit review about morphosyntax. Maybe this is your first time studying morphosyntax. So what is morphosyntax?
I'm long time and not study yet, Miss, because
It's okay.
yeah,
Right now is the time for study.
Yeah. And then my model also not come, so I can't. I just
Sorry, your?
model my book.
Your book?
Yeah.
You haven't received it?
I cannot accept my book, so I cannot.
But can you access the online one? I think all students get the access for the online one.
Yeah, I asked to them how to download the
PDF one.
Yes.
Okay, good. So first, because all of you are students in linguistic. What is linguistic? Linguistic aims to understand how the language faculty of the mind works and to describe how language itself works. Some people thought that if we learn linguistic, if you are linguistic, it means that you are bilingual or multilingual. It means that you speak some languages. It doesn't mean that if you learn linguistic, you are able to speak some languages. So linguist is someone who learned the language itself. So we know the pattern, and also it's like a doctor. When you ask doctor, how many diseases do you have? Maybe they cannot answer, but if you ask the doctor, how can you know the disease? They will answer the patterns and also the symptom. So as a linguist, you will be able to know the language. So you can know the pattern of the language. And also in linguistic, we have so many broad branch. So there are some branches in linguistic. Is it clear for you?
Clear.
Okay. First one, there is microlinguistic and micro and macro and other branches. What are they? The first one is phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics. And this semester, we are learning morphology and syntax, or morphosyntax. And I will explain you a little bit deeper about this. First, what is phonetic? Phonetics is study of sound.
Sorry.
Have you ever heard about this?
Yeah.
Did you take any courses before about phonetic?
No.
I see in the internet.
Oh, using the internet, that's cool. So, what is phonetic? When we learn phonetic, we learn the sentence stressing. For example, banana. Or when you ask someone and when you ask someone and the way you speak when you ask and the way you speak when you commend someone, it will be different. So that's phonetic. And the next one is phonology. Can you read this, Mbak Yunita?
Okay. Phonology, the study of sound system and how they pattern. For example, in English, there are many examples of the in the middle of word that sound quite different from that at the beginning or end of words. Listen to the that in total and you hear that they don't sound the same. The first is pronounced. Gimana, Miss? Pronounced.
Wait, what is it?
The first
Pronounced with a puff of air.
With a puff of air. Or put your hand in front of your mouth to take this. But the second is not, and it sounds like the include. This sound is called a tap because your tongue taps the roof of your mouth briefly and it is very similar to the tapped R sound in language like Spanish or Japanese. The leads to misperception of the English middle as an for speaker of this language.
Okay, so thank you. So when we learn phonology, we learn about how to produce sound. It's about sound producing. For example, like this one. So when we learn phonology, we will learn how to place our tongue to produce the correct sound. That's why in English there is E, A, U, ear, A, that one different. America and word. This is and this is short and long This one is o. Like in Japanese when you say o, hono, and this one is o, oi, o, a, like action, ka. And this one is a, and this one is a. This one is o, not. So when we say not note, because we use o, not o. And this one is L, like where. And this one is I, mine. Ow, how. And in English, so there are two types. This one is when we learn phonology, we read this not P, but P, B, T, D. Do you recognize that your tongue plays differently when you produce T and D? When you say T, you will put your tongue between your teeth. T and D, it's lower. Do you see the difference? T and D. When you say D, your air is puff. D. So that's how the native speakers speak. And this one is ch, ch, k, g, f. And this one is v. Like when you say very. And this one is th. When you say thank you. You not say thank you, but thank you. Thank you. And this one is good. And this one is s, and sh. This one is sh, z. mah, nah, ngah. When you say sing, you use ngah, sing. It sh, and just lah, rah, bah, and yeah. You say yes, yes. And this one is phonology, like this one. So this is how it's written and this is how you read this. It's quite different. Those two words are begin with S, but you pronounce it differently. The first word you say sigh. What do you say? Oh, sorry, say. What do you say? Say. You use S. Say. And the second was shy. Shy. Like fashion. When you say fa, fashion. That's phonology. So when you learn linguistics, it is very important for you to know this phonological pattern. Do you know about this before?
Don't know yet.
Does someone teach you?
No.
Yes.
Ah.
The Chinese like this book.
Morpho, yeah, it's quite similar in Morpho. When you learn about this, I forgot. I also learned about Morpho because my classmate teach me. Like this one. When you say this, it's like an O, but a little bit oo. When you say oo, but your mouth pronounced like O. Ooh, book. And this one is I, boy. So as a native speaker, they know when do they use oo and when do they use O. So this one is phonology. And the next one is semantic. What is semantic? Semantic is the study of meaning. For example, when you say the word look means you see, but when you add look for, it means you search.
Yes.
Look at, it's different. So this is semantic. And the next one is psycholinguistic. Can you read that, please?
Psycholinguistic. Chapter 1. 1. The definition of psycholinguistic. Psycholinguistic, the study of the mental aspect of language and speech, a branch of both linguistics and psychology. Psycholinguistic or psychology of language is the study of the physiological and neurobiological factors that enable humans to acquire, use and understand language. Psycholinguistic focuses upon the comprehension and production of language. Psycholinguistic. Psycho ya?
Psycholinguistic.
Psycho itu
It's psychological. Psychological means something that works in your brain, your feeling, when you involve your brain and your feeling. So in language, there are two terms. Do you know the difference between two terms, acquire and learn?
Acquire.
What is acquire? So when we learn languages, there are two aspects that happen in our mind. conscious and unconscious learning. Conscious means you are aware with something. Conscious itu sadar. Unconscious means you are not aware. So you learn something but you don't realize that you learn something. It happened when you learn your first language. When you learn your mother tongue, I don't know what is your mother tongue. My mother tongue is Japanese. What is your mother tongue? Indonesia, or what is your mother tongue? Do you know mother tongue? Mother tongue means the language that you learn at the first year. This is your mother tongue. What is your mother tongue?
Indonesian language.
Indonesian, and you?
Japanese.
Japanese. Okay. So when we were baby, we learn our first language, but we do it unconsciously. Our mom doesn't teach us like, okay, this is A, B, C, this is baca. Baca means something. So our mother doesn't teach us formally, but we acquire that language. This is called acquire. So when we learn language, there are two terms, acquire and also learning. Right now we are learning. We are learning language because we conscious doing something. So when baby learn language, they are acquiring. But when they go to school, they are learning. That's why in linguistics there is second language acquisition. So in English there are some terms like first, second, and third. There are first language, second language, and foreign languages. Some people learn English as second languages, but we as Indonesian, we use English as a foreign languages. Do you know why foreign languages? When do we call English as a foreign languages? So this is the concept. First language means the language that we use at home when we speak with our parents. But second language is the language that we use at school, formally. And foreign language means language that we use for a special purpose. We do not use it occasionally or too often. That's why some people, like some of my friends, they use English as second language because they only use Chinese at home. Then when they go to school, they use English as second language and they learn German as their foreign languages. And the approach, pendekatan, the approach of how to study first, second, and foreign language are different. That's why, as a linguist, you will be able to master as a foreign language learner. So the approach of psycholinguistic as a first, second, and foreign language will be different. Jadi nanti kalau when you learn psycholinguistic, you will learn the stages. There is a stages of language. But right now I'm not talking about that. I just give you a brief explanation. So as a linguist, you will know about that. Jadi nanti kalau udah lulus tahu. Kan jurusan sastra. Next is social linguistic. What is social linguistic? It stands for society and linguistic. So in social linguistic, we learn how language used in a certain culture. That's why in social linguistic, some languages are changed. Language are changing. Jadi bahasa itu bukan sesuatu yang statis, sesuatu yang tidak hanya diam, tapi terus-menerus bergerak dan it changing from time to time. Seperti bahasa Indonesia. Like an Indonesian, the language that used by young learner and adult will be different. Why? Like you see that some youths they use the word Wallace. Do you know the word Wallace?
Yes.
Yeah, that's changing. But when I ask my father, do you know about Wallace? Maybe he doesn't know about that. That's study of social linguistics. In social linguistics, you will learn about like black English and accent. Accent is very important. Do you know accent?
Yeah.
So right now there are some terms. Some people believe that when you are able to speak like American or British way, it's better. But that's not true. English is possessed by everyone, so it doesn't matter your accent. As long as you are clear enough to say, you are good. So that's we learn sociolinguistic. Now, this is what we learn. Syntax. There are two paragraphs and I will ask you one by one to read. Go.
Syntax.
Mm-hmm.
The study of sentence structure.
Mm-hmm.
English and many Western European
Languages, European languages,
have a phenomenon called WH movement. WH word are the question word who, which, what, where, when, why, and how. Think about the sentence, I eat an apple, as a possible response to the question, what do you eat? The word what corresponds to apple, but it shows up at the beginning of the sentence.
Next.
In many languages, though the WH word corresponds to the same position of the word it refers to. For example, in Chinese, you will say, I eat apple, in response to you eat what. We say then that in languages like English, WH movement was occurred and the structure is what do you eat? What do you eat? What? A lot of other properties of a language are predicted by whether it has WH movement or not. But we will have to leave those to another time.
So this is syntax. Syntax means how the language works. Like when you say in Chinese, they just put the word ma in the end of the sentences. It means that you are asking someone. But when you use English, you put do or does or WH. And the pattern will be different.